And I would like to wish all of you a happy Valentine's Day。今天呢就是情人节啦，所以呢，在我分享今天的课程之前呢，先祝福大家情人节快乐，有情人终成眷属。好了，那在开始之前呢，都是一样了啊，我需要先把我的那个连接发出去。Before I begin today's sharing, I will share my video link to my followers. So it will just take a minute. Today's sharing will all be on relationship and love and romance. All right. So if this topic is important to you, do stay on, right, to learn everything that you can find out or the all the methods that you can learn to improve your peach blossom and your love life. All right. 今天呢所说的东西呢，都会跟爱情有关。如果呢，爱情在你的人生里面呢，是一个重要的话题呢，那你就没有来错了。今天呢所说的东西呢，都是会关于爱情的哦。还有呢，怎么样可以让我们有一个更好的恋爱关系，或者呢，增强个人的桃花哦。桃花呢，在人生其实是蛮重要的哦。有没有人喜欢你？或者呢，你的人有没有吸引力？哦，这些呢，不止在人际关系上，甚至在我们的事业上呢，也是有一个很大的影响的哦，对吗？你赞同吗？哦，in terms of charisma or attractiveness or what I call peach blossom, right? In terms of astrology, it's called peach blossom. It is actually very important to have peach blossoms in your life or certain form of charisma, likability, or certain form of attractiveness in your personality or even appearance. All right, it will all help you in terms of personal relationship and in terms of your work development. To be honest, okay, but of course, all right. In terms of peach blossom, it's not that once you are good looking, then you will have peach blossom. There are a lot of people who are average looking, but they are still able to attract um, the love or the admiration of members of the opposite sex or opposite gender, right? Perhaps due to their talents, due to their attitude, due to their pleasant character. So peach blossom is really not very much related to appearance. It's your overall makeup, all right? And how do we know whether someone is having strong peach blossom in their life, right? All this can be analyzed through 八字and 紫微斗数。Alright, so 在八字跟紫微斗数呢，我们都有不同的星或者不同的命局构造呢，能够看到一个人他是不是有吸引力，有没有个人吸引力。有些人他们可能容貌很平凡平平无奇的，可是他偏偏就是有人喜欢他，他很受人欢迎，那是为什么呢？很多时候都是跟一个人的命局有关哈。所以呢，今天呢，我就会慢慢跟大家一步一步去了解。怎么样去用八字跟紫微斗数，甚至用风水来改善自己的爱情还有桃花了。好，所以呢，今天花了蛮多的时间做这个 slide，好，希望你们会喜欢这个 slide。今天的 sharing 会 very holistic，会很 holistic，就是差不多包罗万有了哈，关于爱情的东西。所以呢，如果呢你仔细的听，还有呢有耐心的听呢，一定对你的人生有帮助。Today's sharing will be very holistic and comprehensive. So if you take the time to absorb what I share with you today, and also take the time to patiently learn, you will be able to gain a lot and learn a lot today. So let's look at some of the comments. Thank you very much, Angie So, for joining me tonight. So let me also create a banner first, okay? Create a banner for today, all right? So as to highlight what I want to share today, okay? So without further ado, I will start with today's lesson or sharing, all right? 我们呢，华语里面呢，就有一句很出名的一句诗啊，好像诗句这样的，就是说，问世间情是何物哦，直教人生死相许。All right, I found a very appropriate or very nice translation in English. It says that what is love supposed to be? That makes death a beauty. As long as you are with me, all right, it is a very beautiful translation. 就是呢，不管是生就是死，如果你能够跟你自己爱的人在一起呢，那就是一个很美满的一件事情了。那你赞同吗？这里有没有人谈过恋爱或有没有谈过恋爱谈到呢？会愿意跟你的爱人共度生死的，all right? I believe some of us actually have this kind of feelings before or experience before. Thank you very much, Shelly, for watching, and thank you very much, Joey Mito, for watching. All right. So for those lovers, all right, for those lovers, right, who have been in love before, all right, you understand these feelings, right? You want to be with the one you love until the day you die, all right? And regardless whether you are living or dead, as long as you are with the person you loved, then it will be a form of bliss or happiness for you, all right, or a form of satisfaction or fulfillment, all right, because basically, all right, according to Maslow hierarchy of needs, all right, Maslow is one of the psychologists that is very famous who created the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, all right. Basically, humans are born to be social. 我们呢，人生出来是需要有爱情的，需要有归属感的。好， in terms of Maslow hierarchy of needs, right? If you have studied psychology before, our first most important needs, of course, is our physiological needs like needing air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, reproduction. All right, reproduction. All right, which is also related to love. Next, we will need to have the safety needs such as personal security, employment, resources, health, and property. And the third most important needs is love and belonging. All right, we need friendship, we need intimacy, family, sense of connection. So this is really among one of the most important needs of being a human being. All right. Then comes the extreme, which is to be recognized, to be respected, and finally self-actualization. But all these are not so relevant to today's sharing. So I will focus on love and belonging. All right. Love and belonging is actually also reflected in 八字 compatibility analysis. All right. In terms of 八字 love compatibility, the balance of the day master is always the most important philosophy. Combining relationship of heavenly stems and early branches will enhance compatibility. Right? What I meant is that, right, in terms of 八字, all right, there are always certain form of combination relationship, such as, all right, 甲子和. All right, this is the first combination. The second combination is 乙跟和, 乙跟, and then followed by 丙辛和, followed by 丁壬和, followed by 甲乙丙丁戊木癸合戊己. Okay, 甲子和, which is the same as this. All right. So right, just remember, if somehow you have heavenly stems that are pairing with the lateral combination, or the day master that belongs to you and the day master that belongs to your spouse or partner is basically of this pair. For example, 甲子 or 乙庚 or 丙辛 or 丁壬 or 木癸 or 子甲, then naturally, right, I will say about 60 to 70%, you and your partner will be considered compatible. All right, you and your partner will be considered compatible. Choosing the right partner using 紫微斗数 analysis is also another important factor that can be taken into consideration when you want to choose a suitable life partner. All right. Lastly, I will talk about some amulets or feng shui methods that can be used for enhancing love and peace blossom. Right. So first talk about 八字. 八字is a philosophy that is always focusing on the balancing of the entire birth chart. A balanced 八字 means the 5 elements that help the day master are basically equal to those that restrain. Right. In terms of 八字, we always have elements that enhance us or restrain us. All right. For example, those elements that okay, this is the day master. Okay, 日主。生我的生我的就是好像印resource, right? Sometimes what enhances us is also 比肩, okay, 比肩, all right, friends or rock wealth, okay, friends, or rock wealth. Okay, so all these are for enhancing the strength of the day master. Whereas there are another type of elements that will restrain us. Okay, this is the day master. The factors that restrain us are, for instance, 官煞, the direct officer and the silent killing, 伤食, the hurting officer and the eating god, and 财财. Okay, 财财, the indirect wealth and the direct wealth. All right. So these are just the concepts that are in the 八字 that you should know. All right. If you really want to use 八字 as a form of method to analyze compatibility. All right. So just to give you a brief idea first. All right. Yin and yang are balanced. As long as yin and yang are balanced in the 5 elements, one will be able to have a smooth sailing, all right, in his or her endeavors, all right. This is basically the core philosophy of 八字. Therefore, you will understand that the 12 animal zodiacs is basically very much irrelevant to the reading of 八字 because the 12 animal zodiacs will never talk about the balancing of the day master. Okay, 阴阳和合之道，指宇宙大化之道. The balancing of yin and yang is the secret laws of the universe. All right. So whenever you have the balance of yin and yang, you will have the production of life. 就是好像一个男跟一个女的，他们配合了就有生命啊，这也是一个宇宙的一个规律哈。就说宇宙开始的时候也是一个 Big Bang 很热的时候，在一个空间很冷的一个空间，他们就是一个阴阳的关系啊。Very much is like the Big Bang. It was a very hot explosion in a very cold environment, and due to this interaction, the universe was created. All right. So yin and yang balancing is the secret law of the universe. And it's very much the same about love. All right. How do we go about analyzing marriage using 八字? All right. Marriage, 八字 matching. How do we go about doing this for ourselves? It is actually not that difficult. All right. If you have been following my videos in the past, I have talked about the weak day master, the strong day master, also some of the special formations. All right. But for today's purposes, that is basically for the introduction of how to go about carrying out love analysis or compatibility analysis. I will just talk about weak and day master, weak and strong day master. All right. Focusing on these two. All right. To find for people who have weekday master, all right, I believe many of us here have weekday master. All right. So you know who you are. Thank you very much, Mr. Jerry, for watching. Okay. So do go and check your birth chart. If you have a weekday master, then it will be suitable for you to find someone who can boost the strength of your day master. OK， 就说如果你八字身弱的话呢，你适合找一个人可以胜旺你的八字的。Right? Find someone whose spouse domain is having a combining relationship with your spouse domain. What I meant by that, right? Just now I have talked about the heavenly stems combination in terms of the earthly branches. All right. Okay, let's talk about the 八字 first. In terms of 八字, we will always have the 8 characters, and then have our day master, and the factor that is right below our day master. Right? This is our spouse domain in 八字 reading. Okay, this is our spouse domain in 八字 reading. Therefore, every one of us will have a spouse domain. Okay, that is very commonsensical. So what I meant is by having combination relationship within the spouse domain is that, for example, this is your birth chart. Okay, this is your birth chart. All right, marked in circle. This blue circle is the spouse domain of you. All right, you. Okay, this is you. Then you may want to find another partner in which the spouse domain, right here at the circle highlighted in blue, right, will have a combination formation with your birth chart. Okay, this is you, this is him or her, right? Him or her. Okay. So what I meant by combination in the spouse domain is that within our earthly branches, there are also different forms of combination formation. For example, 子丑合, 己丑寅寅, all right, 寅亥合, 卯戌合, 巳亥亥巳合, 申 is 巳申, sorry, this is 四声和四声 okay, let me sorry okay, 寅亥是申巳合 and followed by 午未合 okay, 己丑寅卯辰酉合 all these are earthly branches combination. So if you're able to find your spouse or partner having a combination relationship within the spouse domain that is combining with yours, that is another bonus point. All right, that is another bonus point. Thank you very much, Facebook user, for watching. Right. So that is basically another method we can use to analyze whether your spouse or your partner is compatible with you. Of course, there are another form of directional combination. For example, 亥子丑, right? These are directional combination formation, which is called 方局, okay? Directional combo, okay? Directional combo, okay? So if you are able to find this combination, also it will be auspicious, a kind of auspicious, compatible birth chart between you and your partner or spouse, okay? 亥子丑寅卯辰申酉戌 and followed by this 四五位 okay, 四五位. So all these are also combining relationships which are very auspicious for the spouse domain between you and your partner. All right. So go and identify if these elements do appear in your chart. The last combination, the last form of combination are okay. They are called 寅午戌子申辰申己酉丑酉丑巳 and followed by this wood, which is 寅卯sorry 寅okay, let me double check. All right. 卯寅午戌申子辰巳酉丑卯未亥卯未. Okay, so a lot of combination, you have to memorize them by heart if you really want to be a professional Bazi practitioner. Okay, I have memorized them. All right, so if you want to be as good as the professionals who can read Bazi, you must memorize all these. All right, it's not easy, but I have memorized them all, and it actually helped me to analyze a birth chart very quickly. All right, so these are the combinations that you can analyze. All right, when you want to find someone, okay, whose spouse domain is having a combining relationship with your spouse domain. Okay, this is a very auspicious makeup. Okay, lastly, find someone whose day master is sharing a combining relationship with your day master. All right, that is something that I have talked about earlier on. All right, which are all here. Okay, which are all here. All right, just now I have already written them down. Okay, which are all here. Okay, these are the heavenly stems combination. All right, for example, if you are of a Wu day master, then find a girlfriend or a wife that is of a Kui day master. All right, that is a very natural combination. Usually both of you will be very matching in terms of your attitude or your approach to life, or etc. Okay, very easy to get along. What I meant is, so if you have a strong day master, what should you do? Then you should find someone who can help to weaken the strength of your day master. All right, find someone whose spouse domain is having a combination or combining relationship with your spouse domain. Likewise, which I have touched on just a minute ago, find someone whose day master is sharing a combining relationship with your day master. All right, which is the same as this. Okay, so this is applicable to both people who are having a strong or weak day master. All right, finding someone who have a lateral combining relationship in terms of the day master or the spouse domain. All right, which is here. All right, the spouse domain, which is this combination, and the three types of combination. Okay, here this type of combination and this type of combination. All right, I will go a little bit faster because today I have a lot to share. All right, so you can always rewind the video and pause, all right, to take note of the important notes. Okay, So for male, alright， 男人的话哦，男人在这边的话哦，要听好听了哦。For those people who are male gender, thank you very much, Mr. Fabian, for watching. For people who are of the male gender, right? Please listen carefully, alright? Avoid looking for a partner or spouse who have too many hurting offices or eating gods within her birth chart, as these are signs of pressure and challenges to the boyfriend or husband. 这个是说什么呢？我们八字里面in terms of our 八字 right? When a girl, all right, when a female, okay, let me change the pen. When a girl or female, all right, female, all right, in terms of female, for example, the female is of a Wu Day master. So his or her boyfriend or girlfriend will be Jia or Yi Wood, correct? All right, this is the Qisa. 7 killing, all right, 7 killing. And this is the direct officer. So if you have too many 相关 right, 相关食神, which are the hurting officer and eating god. What are the hurting officer and eating god of Wu? Of course, is Gun, right? Gun and Xing metal. So you can see, right, these two metal will clashes with the 7 killing and the direct officer, which are the husband and boyfriend of the Wu Earth Day Master. All right, so it is not auspicious for female, right, to have too many eating gods or hurting officer within her birth chart, right? So if you are a man, all right, do not find a wife or a girlfriend who have too many hurting officers or eating gods within her birth chart. 就说你是男人的话呢，就要记住一件事情：如果你的太太、你的女朋友，她的命格太多伤官跟食神，都是会克夫的，都是会克夫，容易离婚这种命格呢会容易离婚，或者呢你们结婚以后呢会容易分开 ，all right， 会克夫。All right, will curse husband. Usually will bring about pressure to the husband or boyfriend, bring about obstacle or challenges to the husband or boyfriend, or naturally because of their, their inborn nature to always criticize the boyfriend or girlfriend. It will cause the boyfriend or criticize the boyfriend or husband will cause the husband to be or the boyfriend to be demoralized easily. Okay, so do take note for husband, please do not find a wife or girlfriend who have too many hurting offices or eating gods within her birth chart. Okay, so the next point, avoid someone whose body is extremely yin or yang in nature. What I meant is that, right? 这个叫做八字传阴 all right? 八字传阴 it means that within the 八字, all the elements are of yin nature. 八字全阴或者全阳，这种命兆都是会对婚姻不好尤其是八字传阴的全阴的女性通常父亲爸爸啦，就是爸爸兄弟跟他的那个老公，其中一个不是会有一生都有病，或者就会坐牢，或者就会破产等等的所以并不是一个好的构造八字全阴means right 好像一个人的八字全部都是阴的，好像癸这些就是阴，丁也是阴，辛也是阴，好像乙木也是阴，还有己土也是阴。那地支如果你有丑、卯、巳、未、酉、亥，这些全部八字只有这些的话都是八字全阴。那 vice versa 了好像你没有看到在这里的另外一套那个天干地支的那个就是八字全阳了。八字全阳的人他们都脾气比较暴躁八字全阳，脾气也是暴躁，婚姻也并不是说很好的，因为都是太过极端了，太过 extreme 了。 所以呢，这些对婚姻啊、感情啊、男女关系都不好哦，所以最好不要找那种八字全阴或者八字全阳的那种男女朋友来谈恋爱了啊，一定会容易出问题啊。So avoid someone who is having a mixture of many direct officer and seven killings, as this can be a possible sign of complicated relationships, especially if they are inauspicious factors for her chart. OK， 所以男人听住哦 ，for male gender。Also avoid a female with a day master, okay, whatever day master, having many other seven killing or direct officer within her chart. Direct officer，因为官煞运杂哦官煞运杂通常都是代表感情很那个乱都是感情很乱就是代表这个女生嘛她的身边会有非常多的男朋友非常那一个女人嘛，身边太多男人的话会怎么办？那当然婚姻会不稳定啊，对吗？婚姻会不稳定啊，对不对？所以呢，最好不要找这样的一个女生这个呢，我们叫做什么？OK，OK，刚才我没有给你看那个 slide 没有看那个 drawing 好了，这个我叫做我们女生嘛，最好你的命格里面不要太多那种七杀。还有正官 ，alright. For female, it is not very good for you to have too many seven killings or direct officer within your birth chart because this actually represents boyfriends or husband, alright? Boyfriend or husband, OK? 在古书里面就有说女命官煞运杂这个呢都是代表感情复杂所以呢甚至呢有可能这种是一种风尘命。什么叫做风尘命呢？就好像可以是说妓女的命古代的社会是这样看的可是现代的社会不管是怎么样然后有不同的男女关系都也是比较复杂所以呢要最好避免你的那个女朋友或者你的那个老婆有这样的一个命兆 ，OK， 所以男人要记住可是到女人了现在说到女人 ，OK，for females，right？ Thank you very much, Rich Yang, for watching. Hi, Facebook user. I believe all of you are from the indirect wealth hackers groups, therefore are all anonymous. Okay. Never mind. All right. So I will continue sharing for females. Okay. For the females, all right. Those who are females here, all right. You can perhaps I don't know comments and pay attention. Okay. For females, okay, 女生记住听住avoid looking for a partner or spouse who have too many direct and indirect resource within his birth chart, as these are signs of pressure and conflicts with the girlfriend or wife. Possible indication of problems from mother-in-law also. OK， 这个是说什么呢？男生嘛女人的话，你找那个老公嘛，你的老公your husband your husband. It is best not to have too many resource factor. Resource factor, for example, if the husband is of Wu Earth, okay, today I will just use Wu Earth Wu Earth, then the fire, all right, fire such as Bing and Ding will be the resource factor, okay. Why resource factor will not be auspicious for you as a woman? Because if your husband is Wu, then you are Kui water, okay, you will be Kui or Ren water, all right. This fire here, which are the resource factor, will clash with you, will clash with your will clash with the water element, because 水火不相容水火不相容水火相冲 water element and fire element will always be clashing with each other. And what are these resource factor represents? The resource factor represents what give birth to the earth, right? Fire give birth to earth，就是妈妈啊，就是你老公的老妈啊，你老公的老妈啊，哦，就是你的 mother-in-law 啦，哦，mother-in-law 啦啊。所以很多为什么我们世界上很多婚姻的问题都是什么产生的？都是那个婆媳的关系啊，是不是？The a lot of problems in marriage, right? Marital problems. A lot of marital problems are caused by problems between the wife and the mother-in-law. Am I right to say that? Sometimes the mother-in-law physically abuse, I mean, like, uh, carry out violence towards the wife, or especially in ancient society. Then sometimes the wife doesn't like the mother-in-law, right? So they are always clashing with each other because resource factor. One's resource factor is always clashing with the wealth factor, regardless which meal, alright， 所有的男人都是一样的，我们的印永远都冲我们的财的，所以就为什么我们那个婆媳关系啊，就是那么的复杂哦，而且呢，有历史来的到现在都是一模一样，那个婆婆就永远就跟那个媳妇啊，就什么很容易吵架，很容易有 misunderstanding，很容易有是非啊、斗争啊、明争暗斗啊这种事情发生哦。所以呢，这个从八字里面也是看得到的哈、哦。好，大家呢，所以学到八字哦，会学到很多人生的道理哈、哦。OK 啦，所以呢，就要记得哈、哦、，if you are female, right, avoid looking for a husband who is having too much resource factor within his birth chart because that will usually bring about pressure on difficulties to your life, especially problems caused by mother-in-law. Okay. Lastly, all right, or legs, avoid someone who have a totally yin or yang bazi chart, which is the same as what I have mentioned for the males also earlier on. All right. Lastly, avoid a male who is having a weak day master and too much direct and indirect wealth in his chart. Possible indication of financial problems or difficulty in sticking to one woman. Okay, 这个是说什么呢 All right, what is this trying to say is that, right, in terms of 八字 reading for male gender, okay, this day master, okay, for example, I will use Wu Earth again, Wu Earth. Okay, this is Earth. His girlfriend or wife, right, will always be water because that is what Earth overcome or suppress or restrain, right? 好，所以呢，木土克水啊，克水啊，对不对？Therefore, right, if you are this water, right, and additionally, there are so much other water. 哦，很多其他的水，它八字里面有很多的水嘞，那就它就不会只有你一个女人呐、哦，那就不 you won't be the only woman in his life in this case, all right? If your husband or boyfriend is having so much wealth factor, all right, this is wealth of Earth. If your boyfriend or your husband is having so much wealth within his life, all right, you won't be the only woman. Just like Stanley Ho, the casino tycoon, he has 4 wives, all right, 4 wives. And you look at his name, right, Stanley Ho, right? 何鸿燊的那个燊啊，哦，就是他本身是人水月圆的何鸿燊 ，OK Stanley Ho. If you know who is Stanley Ho, the Macau tycoon who has already passed away, all right, casino tycoon, right? He actually is of a Renwater Day Master. And look at his name, all right? 3 fire enhanced by another wood, all right? Total, all right, actually 4 fire. 4 fire. That's why he has 4 wives, all right? So even from someone Chinese name, you can tell a lot about that person's life. Okay, this person has 4 wives. Okay, Stanley Ho has 4 wives. We all know. But if the day master is weak, all right. For example, Wu of day master is weak, and he has too many wife waters. Okay, Stanley Ho definitely has a strong day master, so don't worry. But if your husband If your husband has a weekday master and has so many water, then he won't be able to control his both his wealth and his wife's. Therefore, right, it will definitely lead to a lot of marital problems such as divorce. You see, Stanley Ho, even though she has 4 wives, but the wives never wanted to divorce him because he has so much wealth, all right, to be honest. But if the husband's birth chart is having a weekday master and he has so much wealth factors within his life, he will not be able to control both his wealth and his wives. So it will definitely lead to marital problems, okay, because his day master strength is not strong enough, okay. So in terms of 紫微斗数, there are also various signs that will tend to tell us, whether you will have problematic relationships in your life, all right? The first one we have is 巨门 in spouse domain pairing with 化忌, all right? 巨门 is a star that represents a big mouth, okay? People of the 巨门, having 巨门within the life domain, usually they like to talk. They are very eloquent, but in a negative way, they can also be very critical and like to criticize other people. So if you have 巨门, right, pairing with 化忌, 化忌 is a negativity enhancer star. You have 巨门 pairing with 化忌 within your spouse domain, right? You and your partner or spouse definitely will, at least he or she will definitely like to quarrel with you, all right? Or pick up something, that is very minor problem. She will talk and talk and talk until it becomes a very extremely serious problems, okay? Or she like to criticize you, saying that you are no good, always always not cleaning the house, not cleaning the house properly, not keeping things properly, etc. Okay, thank you very much, Light Giver, for watching. Long time no see, Light Giver. Hopefully that you are doing well. So this is another thing that you have to analyze, right? Is your 紫微斗数 chart. Okay, so the next 太阳 化忌 usually means that a female will often experience problematic relationships with the male gender. Alright， 太阳星是一个代表男人的星哈，所以呢，如果你是女生，right，如果你是女生，你命宫里面太阳星本身是化忌的话哦，自化忌，那通常呢，你跟男人都没有什么缘分，你跟你爸爸没有什么缘分，你跟男同事没有缘分，你跟老公没有缘分，你跟儿子也是没有什么缘分的。所以我看过很多女生，她的那个太阳是化忌的话，第一，她爸爸很容易跟她的妈妈离婚，很容易出轨哦，或者呢，爸爸很早就离家出走了哦，这个是第一哦。For people, for my many years of experience, using 紫微斗数 as a form of analysis for my clients, right? For the females who have 太阳 within their birth chart pairing with 化忌, usually the father will have left the house early, or the father will have extramarital relationship or not caring for the family, or usually the boyfriend whom she will like usually is a bad guy. 哦，就是那种女生呢会喜欢坏男人。那坏男人怎么会给你一个美满的婚姻，给你一个幸福的婚姻呢？所以呢，你看你是女生的话，看一下自己的太阳星有没有化忌 ，right? If you are female, check whether your 太阳星 is being paired to 化忌。If that is the case, right, make sure that you open your eyes big, when you want to find a husband or boyfriend, all right? If not, usually you have a tendency to find that kind of bad guy, that kind of husband who will always womanize, etc. Okay, and usually that kind of female usually will have a kind of lukewarm or negative relationship with their sons also. OK， 就是太阳化忌的女人，她们跟小孩、他们的儿子啊，尤其是儿子的那个关系都不是很密切，没有什么缘分哈、或者甚至没有儿子哈。所以呢，下一个 point 哈，the next point, right? Having 廉政 or 贪狼 at the spouse domain will usually get into multiple parties relationship or complicated relationship, all right? Because 廉政 and 贪狼 are both peach blossom star, very strong in peach blossom, all right? They are always, tend to fall in love too easily, all right? That's the reason why they may get involved with extramarital relationship, multi-parties relationship, or being the 小三, or always having third party intuition into their marriage or relationship, all right? 因为呢，贪婪跟紫微对不起，廉贞跟贪婪星呢是两个最大的桃花星。如果你看到这两颗星在你的那个夫妻宫的话，很容易就是代表呢， 的人生常常都进入那种三角关系，或者呢你做小三，或者人家做你的小三，或者呢总之是很复杂的那种爱情关系了，很多人的那种爱情关系就是乱啊，就是一个字乱就是对了啊。因为你看你自己的廉贞哈，还有那个贪婪有没有进入你的夫妻宫哦？如果有，你真的要小心你夫妻关系方面的事情哈。那 male genders right with 天同 and 太阴 within the life domain are usually naive, very sentimental and emotional. They can also be good looking. All right. You may okay because 天同 usually is a star that represents children. And Taiying is a star that represents woman. For a guy who have this kind of 天同 characteristics, they are usually more naive. Okay, we believe in romantic true love, puppy love, that kind of stuff. And they can be very sentimental and emotional, okay? Because tying is the characteristics of woman, okay? And they can also be good looking, right? Like, very much like nowadays, that kind of Korean boy band, they are very handsome and even beautiful, all right? They have very sharp features, very much like a girl, all right? Very beautiful looking kind of guy, okay? But they are not good in rejecting advances from members of the opposite gender. So they can easily be touched, right? By the small actions from the female and may fall in love with the wrong lady easily. 就是呢，这种天同太阴坐命的那种男生嘛，本身带点有事，那种小孩气的那种感觉有点幼稚。然后呢，本身自己呢有很感性的一个人，很喜欢浪漫踢客啊。然后他们又有一种美男子的那种感觉很容易吸引女生。所以呢，他那种女生嘛，去追他很容易追得上手因为他们相信那种两小无猜那种爱情那种初恋那种那种感觉所以很容易呢那种比较怎么说老练就是比较有经验的女生出一些招数呢，就很容易把这种男生天同太阴在命的那种男生呢抓到上手了，可以就是把他们骗到成为自己的男朋友了所以呢，天同太阴的那种男生你们自己要注意一下，不要乱被女人骗，好不好？然后呢 ，Thank you very much, Miss Yang, for watching, and Mr. Raymond or Chin Chi. Thank you very much for watching from YouTube. It's my first time seeing you. Thank you very much, and do feel free to join my live in the future. Miss Chin Michi. Where are you from, Miss Chin Michi? Thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much, Mr. Taxtay. Also, good evening. Good evening. Miss Jennifer Cole, my student, thank you very much for watching. What about 天同 only in the live domain for males? Okay, 天同嘛，天同 for people who have 天同 within their life domain as male gender. Usually they are kind of easygoing. They can also sometimes be naive, but they can be quite caring. But sometimes they can be unmotivated. All right, they enjoy themselves very much eating. They like leisure, like going for holiday, like going for massage, for example. So if you are a girlfriend or a wife of 天同 male gender or 天同 husband, right? Usually it is quite happy being with this guy, all right? Being this guy, he can be quite you both of you can enjoy life together, all right? But have to be careful, right? 天同, right? Sometimes they are not so motivated. They don't want to work so hard, right? And sometimes they just want to enjoy life. So they may not have big plans, may not have big ambitions in their life. Okay, so this is the problems with 天同 star. People who have 天同 star within their birth chart, and after middle years, they will get fat because they like to eat a lot. OK， 所以呢，天同坐命的人那种如果你的老公是天同坐命，要小心他们中年会发福。因为他们很喜欢吃，很喜欢享受人生，然后呢，他们没有什么上进心，很喜欢享受人生呢。有时候，做工是为了赚钱而享受的，他们是这样的想法的所以你也不要太过勉强他，很努力工作，因为他最后觉得人生最后的那个意义就是享受人生的所以不要给他太大的那种压力或者呢逼他要发愤图强那种，要做千万的那种亿万的那种富翁他未必会喜欢那种生活的所以呢要懂得有时候照顾他们，要把他们 当成一个小孩子这样看 ，alright? If you have a 天同 husband, right? Treat him as a boy, as a small boy, alright? Buy him good food, bring him to, go for leisure trip, go for holiday, go for massage, right? Then he'll be very happy. Okay, so this is the characteristics of someone who have a 天同 within their birth chart. Okay, thank you very much, Jennifer, for the question. All right, so for female genders with 天机 and 太阴 within their life domain, they are both pretty and clever, but they may not be faithful. Like changes in relationships or not wanting to be tied down by anyone. Okay, 天机 is someone usually very clever, but they also will experience a lot of changes in life because 天机 is unstable kind of energy, all right? 天机 is the gears within the clock or machinery. So it is always turning, always changing. People who have 天机 within their life will always change their place of residence also. And unfortunately, will also experience a lot of changes in their relationships. Okay, so if female genders having 天机 and 太阴 within your life domain, usually you are very beautiful. Okay, 太阴是一个很美的，太阴座命的女人都很美。OK，或者很有女人味哦。太阴 is a star that is related to the moon. Okay, so for people who have 太阴 within their life domain as female, you'll be very beautiful or very feminine, or you will have a very good sense for or good taste for anything that are like beautiful clothing. You know how to make up yourself to make yourself presentable. Okay, these are all 太阴 characteristics. Okay, but if it's within your life domain, then you will be both pretty and clever. And given that you are both pretty and clever, right? You can take care of yourself, you can look after yourself, and usually you will also don't want to be stuck in one single relationship. I have witnessed many clients with 天机 and 太阴 within their life domain. They marry, but they take divorce within just a few months, all right, or within 1 month, okay, or for example, one of the tycoons in Singapore, the daughter just get married and just divorced also, right? Someone like that, very beautiful, very clever, or even very successful, all right? But they don't like marriage, right? They like romance, they like being chased after, they like the courtship, they like dating, but they don't like marriage, right? After the fever within the dating period, when they settle down into the marriage, they will get sick of marriage and want to divorce and want to change another partner. All right, such is the characteristics of someone of a female gender having 天机 and 太阴 within their life domain. Okay, so if you are a boy, if you are a guy, if you are a man, right? Of course, you'll be attracted by this kind of partner. Also, beautiful, clever, successful. But remember, you may not be able to date her for a long term. All right, maybe just take her as a short-term girlfriend, then will be safer. All right, having her as a wife may bring you a lot of problems or troubles. Okay, so followed by, all right, some of the problematic relationship compatibility. All right, for someone who have chi sa within their birth chart, it is not compatible to be paired with tai yin. All right, because chi sa is very affectionate. Chi sa is very gung ho. All right, they want to always strike, take action, very aggressive in their approach to love. All right, whereas Tai Ying is always very laid back, very placid, very even tempered, very calm, and not easily moved. All right，所以呢，如果呢你是七杀，你的那个女朋友嘛是一个太阴的，就好像对牛弹琴了。可能那个男的会带着一个吉他带着一个吉他去他的家楼下弹吉他，唱那个爱情情歌给他听了。可是那个女的就不管他了，继续看电视，继续看那个韩剧啊，就是这样的一个情况出现了啊。所以七杀的人不可以就是不适合配太阴的 ，right？ 七杀 is not compatible with 太阴，所以 you go ahead and take a look. If you are a 七杀，then don't go find someone who is of a 太阴 characteristics, okay? Or having 太阴 within his or her life domain, all right? 破军 is not compatible with 天同。Because Paul Jun always wanted to try something new. Paul Jun is a creativity star. It always want to break away, destroy the old and establish something new. All right. So if you have Paul Jun and your partner is Tian Tong, Tian Tong is always preferring some simple relationship. All right. They don't like to try something new. They don't have the motivation to be too adventurous. Okay. So, but Paul Jun is always very adventurous. They always want to try something new. Okay. So if you are Paul Jun and your partner is Tian Tong, then both of you may not be compatible. All right. For example, Paul Jun will always try to, I don't know, perhaps want something new，会想在关系上面有一种新鲜感。They always want to have a sense of novelty in the relationship. But 天同 is always one thing, there's same old, go to work, come back, have some quality time with the husband, they go to sleep, all right. But Portion perhaps, they want to dress up. They like cosplay or what or something weird, all right. So Portion will be very shocking to 天同 if you find this kind of combination, right? Or you or your partner, right, having this kind of one is Portion and one is 天同, then both of you may not be compatible, all right. And 巨门 and 紫薇 is also not compatible, all right. 巨门 I have mentioned is a big mouth. It is very eloquent. Is in another sense is always like to talk or even criticize. Well, Ziwei is the emperor, right? It's the emperor star. If you are Ziwei, you are very much like the emperor. You don't like people to scold you, to criticize you, or to quarrel with you. Whatever you say means that is the correct way. All right, Ziwei is like that. All right. So if you have Jumen, no, Juwen is always critical towards the partner. Right? They like to talk, criticize, nag, like that. So it's not suitable for 紫薇. They value face, 面子，他们很注重面子的紫微星的人 right? 紫薇 value the face, okay? They like to be respected, like to be looked up to, whatever they say is right, you cannot say is wrong. So if you have Chiman and your partner is 紫薇, it's bound to be a disaster, okay? It's bound to be a disaster. So don't try your best to avoid this kind of relationship, all right? Also, 汤南 and 天梁. Tanan, right, is a very romantic star. As I mentioned, Tanan is one of the strongest peach blossom star. Whereas Tianang is someone who is very mature and traditional and very conservative. So whatever Tanang do may not be appreciated by Tianang. All right, Tianang maybe they to them romance may mean just holding hands and walking along the river. Whereas Tangnang, they I don't know what kind of exciting activities they can do inside the big room, okay, but both of them will have very different kind of values, so they will not be so compatible, okay. So it's up to your imagination what Tanang can do, because Tanang is a star that is very much related to physical kind of intimacy. Okay, so they will experiment with anything that is exciting, a fun guy, everything that is taboo, they may also experience or experiments. Okay, whereas Tiantong, right, they will never even think of such things. Okay, so it is also not a very compatible match. Okay, so I won't recommend Tanang and Tian Yang being patched together. Right. Tianfu is also not compatible with Tianji because Tianfu prefers stability. Tianfu is a star that's very much like a bank account, right? You prefer your bank account or your safe to be always stable, right? Tianfu is like that, right? They're very stable, very mild in terms of their demeanor. Well, Tianji always prefer new changes in life. So the both of them will not match. Lastly, we have Taiyang versus Tianxiang. Taiyang is too straightforward and always wanted to win. 太阳是一个很自我中心的一个，因为这个宇宙只有一个太阳啊。太阳 the sun is always very self or very egoistic because there's only one sun in the universe. Therefore, the sun will always be very straightforward and always want to win. No one can be hotter than the sun or stronger than the sun. The strongest energy within the universe is the sun, correct? Whereas Tensang is always polite, always prefer a harmonious kind of setting, harmonious kind of relationship, and they do not like competition too much. So Taiyang and Tianang are also not compatible with each other, right? So if you go through all these stars, open your 紫微斗数 birth chart and see what these stars are, where these stars are located in your birth chart. Then you'll be able to know whether you and your partner are compatible. And some of the domains within the 紫微斗数 birth chart, all right, as I mentioned, there are 12 domains such as blah, 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 friends domain, life domain, spouse domain, children's domain, career domain, health domain, blah, 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 right? So I will just focus on the domains that is related to love relationship. The first domain that is related to love relationship is the friends domain. 就是呢朋友宫，或者我们以前叫做卢伯宫卢伯宫就是以前是看我们的工人的，就是我们的佣人啊，或者我们的请的工人啊等等。现在的那个 modern context, friends domain actually refers to our friends, alright? it is also related to love relationship because this is where you find your partner, your potential mate. Alright， 我们都是从朋友区里面，通常啊都是从跟我们的爱人都是从朋友开始做的嘛。Right, most of the time we start our before we start the relationship, we become friends with the potential mate or partner, right? So the friends domain is one of the domains that is very important to check when you want to see whether love is coming to your life. All right. The second domain is the spouse domain. Obviously, is the 夫妻宫 that represents our spouse. Okay, very obvious, so I won't explain. It's self-explanatory. The next domain is the 子女宫 or the children's domain. The children's domain is very much related to our sex life and children because you cannot have children without sex, right? That's very commonsensical. So for people who have certain form of peach blossom star within the children's domain, also means that maybe you have a very active sex life, or maybe you will be someone who is very attractive to members of the opposite sex, and they want to be with you because they want to have physical intimacy with you. All right. So if you check your children's domain and you find peach blossom stars there, this will be the characteristics. Lastly, career domain, which is right opposite of the spouse domain, is also very powerful in terms of its influence to the spouse domain. Okay, let me show you why. Because this is our self domain, right? This is our spouse domain. Whereas the career domain is right in the opposite direction of the spouse domain. In terms of 紫微斗数, we will always look at the opposite domain and the adjacent domain. All right. 好像在这个夫妻宫嘛，我们永远呢在紫微斗数就看三方四正啊，事业宫就是那个四正啊，三方就是福德宫，就是迁移宫啊，对不对？哦，所以呢这个 triangle 哈，当然就是这个 triangle，还有这个直线就是三方四正啊，哈。That's the reason why spouse domain is always affected by career domain and vice versa. Career domain is also affected by the spouse domain because, right, when you have a good marriage, naturally you will also have a more smooth career development because, especially for the male gender, if you go home and your family is peaceful, your wife is taking good care of you after work, giving you a proper dinner, taking care of the house, making sure that it is clean and comfortable for living, for resting after work, then naturally you have good career progression. You have positive career development. But if you come back from work, your wife wants to quarrel with you, she never tidy up the house, everything is in a mess, there's no dinner to eat, the children are all crying, the furnitures are all broken, no one care to repair, send them for repair, then of course, you will not able to rest well. And the next day when you go to work, you will also feel frustrated because of what happened last night, right? Quarreling with your wife criticizing you, cursing you, scolding you with vulgarities, or etc., or slapping your face. Of course, the next day when you go to work, you will feel demoralized, right? So the career domain is right opposite of the spouse domain for a reason. Okay, and some of the flying stars or catalysts that we have to take into consideration when analyzing relationship or love or romance within our birth chart are the 化科. 化科 in terms of relationship can means attraction and appeal. All right, being attracted to someone or someone showing kind of attraction that you are drawn to, for etc. 化禄 means usually rapport and relationship. It also can indicate the start of a stable relationship. Whereas 化权 usually means stubborn and control. If you are able to find 化权 within your spouse domain, usually means that your spouse is very stubborn and likes to control you. Okay, so it's not a very good thing to find in your spouse domain. Whereas the last thing, 化忌 means obsession and problems. For example, someone who have kind of 化忌 within their children's domain or spouse domain will be so obsessed over you. They will be very, very possessive. For example, your girlfriend have this 化忌 within the spouse domain. It means that next time if she becomes your wife, she will be very possessive. Doesn't allow you to go out with colleagues of the opposite sex, doesn't allow you to have females friends on the Facebook, and she will delete your female friends one by one on Facebook, and will always every day when you come back from outside always check your WhatsApp, check your line messages and your WeChat, check your Facebook, everything, making sure that there are no other females within your life. So it's not a very good thing. All right, being over possessive is not a good thing, but that is being indicated by 化忌 star. Okay, identify the direction of your 化科 and 化禄 stars, therefore, are positive steps towards activating the energies that are positive for your relationship. Okay, as I mentioned before, right, the 紫微斗数chart, right, actually is also a compass indicating the 12 directions within our environment. Okay, so you can identify the 化禄 and 化科. Okay, this is 化科. Okay, I make a spelling mistake here. It's 化科 and 化禄. Okay, so you may actually place appropriate feng shui items or fu talismans on the right day. All right, you must choose the auspicious day to place this kind of feng shui items or fu talisman in the right direction. Then you will have to activate positive energy that will benefit your relationship or enhance your peach blossom luck. Okay, so you may also carry certain items with you that are for enhancing peach blossom and romance. Okay, so this is the typical 紫微斗数 chart of the 12 domains. Okay, the spouse domain of spouse domain is also the wealth domain. What I meant is that, right, in terms of analyzing our relationship with our spouse, you can also analyze the wealth domain because our spouse domain is two domains to the left of our self domain, and if you count another two domains to the left of the spouse domain, it is the wealth domain. Therefore, the wealth domain is actually the spouse domain of the spouse domain. And that actually can reflect, all right, your wealth domain can reflect your relationship or the attitude both of you have for each other in terms of marriage. Okay, so this is a secret in 紫微斗数 reading. All right, not many people understand this point. And um, therefore, it is and wealth, right? Money is also another very important factor affecting relationship. Right? 就是呢，我们的夫妻宫的夫妻宫就是财帛宫了。你看命宫在这里，对不对？数两个左边的位就是夫妻宫，你再数两个左边的位就是财帛宫了。哦，所以财帛宫就是夫妻宫的对待位。Is our kind of relational it shows the relational pattern between the husband and wife. Okay, the wealth domain 就是财帛宫就是夫妻宫的夫妻宫，就是夫妻宫的对待位，夫妻的对待位。所以呢，有很多时候钱财也是很影响一个夫妻的关系啊。有时候很多夫妻离婚也是为了钱呐、结婚有可能也是为了钱哦。有些男朋友跟女朋友在一起，为什么？也是为了钱啊，有时候有时候了啊。可是有时候也是因为结了婚啊，或者有了这个男朋友或者女朋友，他的财富也旺起来哈。那些也是在紫微斗数的命盘里面可以看得见的哈。所以呢，这些比较深入的紫微斗数的理论呢，我以后再说。All right. So, for example, this person is having 化禄 within the spouse domain. All right. 化禄 is within the spouse domain. Pairing with the strategies. Strategies is another word for 天机, right? So, okay, means that this person, right, may have a positive marriage with the spouse, or he or she have a strong karmic tie with the spouse. Okay. But given that it is 天机, it is also, right, indicates that changes may occur within his marriage. Therefore, he must be careful. Okay. Whereas within the wealth domain, there's this moon pairing with 化忌，太阴化忌，就是代表钱财方面呢，也是可能呢，为了钱财所以呢，婚姻上面会有变动 ，right? Moon is actually representative of wealth, so this person may have marital problems due to money, but ultimately, the couples still love each other, will still love each other because of this 化禄. So 紫微斗数 can show you a more complicated or more three-dimensional kind of situation in terms of astrological reading. All right, can show you very minor details. That's why I love 紫微斗数 very much. Okay, some of the peach blossom star in 紫微斗数 are 红鸾, right? If you are able to find 红鸾 within your decade trend or your yearly trend, this represents wedding or marriage or jubilation and festivities. OK， 就是呢，如果你看到红鸾这里的大运或者流年运的时候啊，可能有一些很好的事情就发生，结婚啊、生孩子啊。这些谈恋爱啊事情都会发生的。好，红鸾这个是一个桃花星来的。天喜 is another auspicious peach blossom star, which signifies marriage and wedding and festivities and jubilation. 也是呢，好像结婚啊、生孩子啊，这些也是天喜 或代表的或者甚至有时候组织家庭，这些也是天喜能够被代表的生孩子这些红鸾是代表爱情通常比较代表恋爱。可是某程度上红鸾如果关于健康的话，会代表流血的可是这些以后再说。今天只说关于爱情的那天姚 signifies 风流amorous, romantic, lalacious, dissolute, refined, tasteful, elegant, unrestrained in spirit and behavior。就是说天姚的人呢，他是比较我行我素的，自己喜欢怎么样就怎么样。然后呢，他是比较风流，就是喜欢谁就喜欢谁这样他们不太管那种约束，就是文化上的约束或者社会上的约束，他们不会太管的。他要爱谁就爱谁，跟谁离婚就跟谁离婚，跟谁在一起跟谁在一起天姚在命宫的人会这样子，或者你大运流年遇到呢，你突然间有可能你会变成这样子，或者你跟老公老婆突然间遇到天姚，你也有可能发生这样的情况出现所以 with a high rating 天姚 indicates being elegant, refined, graceful and spending money. With a low rating to indulge in debauchery, excessive indulgence to be easy in one's moral 就是呢therefore you have to look at whether 天姚 is at a positive rating or negative rating, or whether 天姚 is at a bright position or dark position。 如果它是一个画亮我们叫做妙望的星的它就代表呢比较高贵优雅，可是他比较喜欢花钱，因为他有贵气可是如果他是一个暗的星落线的星他就可能比较风流倜傥，所以呢可能是说喜欢风花雪月去那种night club light entertainment 的 places 而且他不会太在意那种规矩的传统的规矩他不太在意，他我行我素嘛，天姚就是这样子最后一个peace blossom 它就是咸池星，这个呢你们很多人呢都应该有听过，这个是代表呢 sexual desire 的咸池 the star 咸池 actually represents sexual desire and activities, alright? Having excessive spending on members of the opposite sex is also a problem related to the 咸池 star. So if you find your husband, right, that year suddenly having this 咸池 star flying into his life domain, right, you really have to be cautious of his spending. Or maybe he suddenly developed a hobby of meeting female friends or going out, don't know go where at night, not coming back at night, for example. Maybe they would like to visit adult entertainment places or having life, all right? This is all caused by 咸池 star. All right, so it's quite dangerous, right? If it happens in your husband's, if it flies in your husband's life domain, okay, or even within your own spouse domain, it's also quite dangerous. All right, personality-wise, 咸池 is usually passionate, longing for love and intimacy, but they lack moral principles also. Too idealistic and greedy. 就是呢，他们在爱情上会变得贪心，或者变得太过浪漫倜傥。脱离了那个现实的那种约束了就是咸池 can be too idealistic in terms of their romantic outlook or being too greedy, right? One partner is not enough for them. Okay, so finding 咸池 within your partner's chart is also not an auspicious thing. Okay, so do double check if your husband is having 咸池 within his life domain. It's not a good thing. Within his decade trend, not a good thing. Within his yearly trend, not a good thing. Okay, for the girlfriends and wife. All right, do take note of this. Okay, so in terms of the full talisman for love and peach blossom, all right, these are some of the talisman full talisman that's called 和的那个符了就是一个人缘的符来的有可以帮助男女关系的那种可以帮他们的感情稳定，或者呢帮他人缘会比较好，比较有多一点桃花等等这些呢都是跟着你们的紫微斗数八字呢设计的。All these full talisman are customized, especially designed according to one's date and time of birth. All right, all these are what I have designed for my clients, according to your date and time of birth, their 八字 chart and 紫微斗数 chart. This one is more for peach blossom, right? Enhancing one charisma, attractiveness, having higher chances of finding the right partner. Whereas this one is more for partner, okay, for husband and wife or boyfriend or girlfriend to have a more stable relationship. Okay, all this can be used in your daily life or by placing them at the right direction, such as the 化科 direction or the 化禄 direction, will all be able to benefit you in terms of relationship. Actually, Hualu is a very positive start because it not only increase your wealth, but also increase your chances for a loving relationship. All right. So very important for you to identify the Hualu and Huake within your Zhuido super chat. Okay. So if you have problems within your marriage, all right, I will recommend you to also have this 15 days love binding ritual by Aja Macy, who is my teacher. So this is a picture of her, a photo of her conducting the love bonding ritual. So there's this Fudo here, the two Fudo's door. She will chant and invite the deities to help the husband and wife to be more loving in the relationship, to have a more stable marriage. Okay, all these are all these are rituals. They are helpful because marriage is a very important element in someone's life. It's a very important factor for personal happiness. Of course, some people say that, oh, I'm also happy being single, being single father and single mother, or just being a widower or widow. But in terms of 八字 reading, right, as I mentioned before, 阴阳合就万物生啊，阴阳永远是一个平衡，所以呢，感情永远都是一个大自然的一个规律哦。一个男人跟一个女人在一起，永远都是一个大自然的规律。可是，在八字里面，我们也是可以看到呢，有些人他们天生注定是同性恋的，我也有同性恋的一些客人是有做这个 love bonding ritual 因为有些人的命局好像转旺格啊、重格啊，或者八字生太过弱那种男生或者女生，他们通常都会喜欢同性的那种伴侣。所以呢，不可以怪他们是天生的，真的是天生的。All right. In terms of love relationship, right? In terms of 易经, the yin and yang when combined together is the secret law of the universe. Therefore, man and woman are destined to be together to have a love relationship. This is natural law. But in terms of past reading, we also understand that some people are born to love people of the same gender because they have a special formation chart, because their day master is too weak, therefore they prefer the friends and welfare factors in their life. Therefore, they will prefer to have same gender relationship, or what we commonly call them as homosexual relationship. And this is completely normal. It is inborn according to Bazi theory. Okay. But nonetheless, what I'm trying to say is that whether you are homosexual or heterosexual, you can also have this love bonding ritual performed for you according to your prayer request, of course, right? You can list down your prayer request for Ajahn to pray accordingly. But most of the time, people will wish for a loving marriage, to have a long-lasting love relationship, to have prosperity, harmony, and good health within the marriage as Sancha. Okay, all these previous clients' requests. So Ajahn will pray accordingly. Ajahn Macy will conduct this ritual with the Fudo door and invite the deities to bless the couples. And some of the feng shui items you can place at the Hualu and Huake are the Kubaloi Silica birds, love birds. Okay, Silica is a form of birds that can sing heavenly tunes, means their singing is very beautiful. And it also helps people who are in the sales industry, who constantly need to talk to people to have good speech. Right, usually people who are in sales can use the Silica birds, and Silica birds comes in pairs, called the love birds. All right, so when placed at the 化禄面缘起啊，所以呢，你在一个缘起的位呢，放那个爱的那个爱神鸟哈，就能够有爱情发生了，缘分美好的缘分就会发生了，而且呢，他们也会相亲相爱。Because the energy 化禄 means rapport and relationship, means the commencement of a long-term relationship. Therefore, placing feng shui items such as Kubaloi, Silica lovebird at your 化禄 position or 化科 position is all good. Is all good, all right? Because it will help to activate the positive energy of the 化禄 and 化科. Well, some of the amulets, right, orthodox 阳的佛牌orthodox amulets are that you can use for boosting your peach blossom or your helping you to improve your love relationship include Pak Kong Pang. Okay, Pak Kong Pang. Later on, I will talk about all this. All right, Pak Kong Pang, Silica birds, which I have mentioned earlier on. Papaya Tong, God of love. All right, Thai. This is a Thai God of love. Okay, it's called Papaya Tong. And Papum 就是我们的四面神啊，或者有人叫做四面佛。Okay, Papum is a four-faced Buddha. All right, this is Kubaloi's Pakong Pang. Pakong Pang, right? This beautiful Pakong Pang here, gold-plated, right, with the young cloth behind and the signature stamp of the temple, is created by Kubaloi, the 70-something senior monk in Chiang Mai, Wasidong monk, which is my most favorite monk because he's very hardworking and also very friendly. Okay, someone I admire a lot. Okay, Pak Kum Peng is created by Krupa Loy. Of course, there are other forms of Pak Kum Peng, but generally speaking, right, just to give you a brief introduction, Pak Kum Peng, right? Kum Peng is the hero of the story. Is a hero, all right, in ancient time, all right. Is okay. Let me repeat once again. The hero of the story, in an ancient story, Kum Peng was an undefeated warrior. That is very famous, okay, of renown. Adept in both sorcery and warfare. He possessed an arsenal of mystical weapons as well as a number of supernatural familiars like his spirit's army and golden child Gobantong, who aided him in his pursuits. Elements of the stories have even trickled into modern life. The origins of amulets such as Pak Kompang, Kun Chang amulets, and Kumantong are deeply rooted in this folktale. Owners of these amulets often report miraculous, inexplicable occurrences in their lives, experiencing improvements in relationship, wealth, and power. All right. So Kompang basically was a general, okay, and he has this kind of mystic, magical power. And also, he was the first person who adopted this Kumantong because Kumantong was actually his son, but due to some accident, the son died. And to continue to keep his son, he invited the spirit of his son into this statue called Gubantong. Okay, and of course the wife. All right, he has many wives. Or Kum Peng has many wives. Therefore, he's very handsome and attractive and has many wives. That's why people worship Kum Peng in Thailand due to his charisma and due to his magical power and his ability to create Gumantong and to have Gumantong help him. So many people use Kompang even today, all right, in Thailand. Kompang is actually one of the most popular amulets. So I don't think this is kind of strange news to any amulet lovers. You all can Google, all right? A lot of information online, okay? The next amulet you can find or can use is Papaya Tong, the god of love. Right, this is by Long Po Ying with 32 takrut. Takrut means mantra rolls. Mantra rolls stick behind with a lot of herbs that are for enhancing metta. Metta means loving kindness from people. So a lot of yarns that are written all for enhancing attractiveness and love relationship. Very positive energy for enhancing romance and peach blossoms in life. Okay, the next Buddha, of course, you can worship is Papum, the Shimian Four or the four-face Buddha, because the four-face Buddha Papum is basically for enhancing wealth, for improving relationship. Okay, of course, this is our main focus today: relationship and improving health and wisdom, and improving career and business. So if you are praying to Prabhum, I congratulate you. All right. I personally also pray to Prabhum since young. So I feel that Prabhum has protected me and helped me a lot in my work, in my relationship, in my wealth, and also in my wisdom. Of course, my health also. Okay. So pray to Prabhum. Highly recommended. All right. Go to Bangkok and pray, or you can also wear Prabhum or have Prabhum in your house. Okay. Okay, amulets not advisable to use. Okay, I have talked about amulets that is good, but amulets that I won't personally advise. Right, this is just my own personal opinions. Okay, so don't quarrel with me saying that butterfly amulets are the best. You know they are good for meta. Blah blah blah. This is just my. Okay, I need to enlarge myself to talk about this. All right, this is just my personal opinion. All right, you like to keep whatever you want to keep. Go ahead. All right, I won't go against your preference. You have your freedom of choice to keep whatever you want. All right, but this is just my sharing for my 20 years of experience dealing with amulets and learning from monks in Thailand, learning from ajahns in Thailand, what is good and what is bad. I will share with you honestly. Okay, so the first thing I won't recommend is butterfly amulet because first of all, it's never recorded in Buddhist text. All right, this is a man-made kind of god. Right, it's mental construct by human beings. All right, it's known to be a sales gimmick taught about by enterprising amulet businessmen. In fact, 99% of temples in Thailand. Okay, let me repeat: 99% of the temples in Thailand do not make gift. Most Thai people do not use it also, all right? Thai people are the most familiar with amulets. I will tell you, I have been living in Thailand for the past 10 years. I will say I have never come across any friends who use the butterfly amulets. But of course, Singapore, it's very hot, always promoting the butterfly amulet, selling you few $1,000s or even to millions of dollars. But this is just a marketing tool, a marketing gimmick, to be honest, all right? Because it is never, first of all, never recorded in Buddhist text. There's no such God. No such number, right? You call, right? No such number, all right? You want to pray to this God. There's no such God. How to pray to this God? Okay, this is man-made, all right? This is just a marketing gimmick, all right? So don't go and waste your money. Go and get that kind of butterfly amulet. Okay, you want to get a placebo effect just to give yourself a self-fulfilling prophecy 要自我欺骗一下 OK 自我麻醉一下可以去买一个来玩玩那个叫做自我暗示 is a kind of subconscious stimulus. But ultimately, there's no such God. So how do you worship a God when there's no such God? 都没有那个神，没有那个佛，你怎么去拜他？那个是 common sense 的，好不好？所以 butterfly amulet 我不会 advise 你们去请了It's never recorded in Buddhist text. OK， 没有这个神的。Wrong number, no such number, 不是 wrong number, 是 no such number, OK， 所以 just a gimmick, OK, marketing gimmick, talk about by enterprising businessman, OK， 虽然那个高僧是说高僧做了，可是那个高僧为什么？就是为了赚钱，也是为了赚钱，因为他做越小的那个butterfly element 嘛，他卖做人越贵，就是这样子。有些高僧在泰国真的只是为了赚钱的这个我很坦白说，我自己有亲眼看过可是呢，我告诉你们的都是事实，你们喜欢听就听，不喜欢听的话可以不听可以不听。可是我永远呢，我做人的宗旨就是永远很直接的跟你说最坦白的话，我不怕 offend 到别人的，因为为什么呢？我告诉你，我做人的宗旨是这样子，只有一件事情改变了能够让100个的人不受害，那我会说出来。因为我把那个真相说出来，只有一个人受害就是那个说骗话害人的那个人受害而已所以我为什么要告诉你那种 nine gems 没有用？我告诉你，直接告诉你 nine gems 没有用，因为只有一个人受害他卖不出 nine gem， 他自己的事情嘛。本来就是一个4块钱的东西，泰国那个塔壳子2块钱新加坡。你去养鱼的那种店买那种小小颗的石头，一大包米那么大包，2块钱新加坡，那就他你放几粒，那这样就放9粒石头进去那个塔古了，总共4块钱，他卖你198块，还不用紧，还不用紧还要怎么样？你用2个月生锈，那个壳掉出来，那个石头掉出来，还要没有效？你不要拿垃圾来当做风水物我不会在背后骂人的，我骂人就是在你人前骂了所以你知道你是谁你也知道我是谁，我把真相说出来，只要能够救100个人，救1000个人呢，我会把真相说出来。我做人的宗旨就是这样，我很坦白很直接的，我也不怕得罪人真的东西永远都是真，假的东西永远都是假那个叫什么？假的真不了，真的假不了就是这样坦白的。我的人就是很坦白的，我说真话，我也敢说，我不会背后说你的我不会背后说你坏话，我是在你前面说你坏话，也不是坏话，这个是真话，这个只是对一个人是坏话。如果我能够说真话，救100个人，救1000个人，那我会说真话，因为我只是一个人受损可是有几百个人受益有几千个人受益那何乐而不为呢？这个是我做人的宗旨我也不会 apologize 的，我不会 apologize 的，我就是这样子的一个人，很坦白的，因为这是都能够帮助我的观众嘛，对不对？好了，那说另外一个 ，all right，the next amulet that I won't recommend is parking。parking 就是那个红色眼镜的一个头尖尖的the red eye having a sharp kind of head, all right? Parkings are essentially mountain deities, 就是山神 or devas. They are considered as yin deity and on par with Malay Jin or Jinni, right? 所以呢 all these are spirits, not Buddha, all right? So I won't recommend you to keep because you don't know how to keep, it will backfire. They can be easily identified with their crowns tilting to either left or right side. The origins story is that Parking are being buried with the soldier that died and their blood tainted the Parking, which make them look evil. So Parking is another amulet or status that I won't recommend you to keep. It is very dangerous. All right. A lot of clients who have problems in their life are due to the keeping of Parking. They don't know how to keep. They keep them in their home. As is mentioned before, right? They are buried with soldiers who have died in battles with blood staining their eyes. It is very inauspicious. It is, 他们真的会 right? They will kind of go after your blood, I tell you. So don't go and keep Parking if you don't even know what is it. A lot of beginners, that kind of MLS keeper, they go always think that Parking is very powerful. Parking, right? Red color eye, tilted head. A lot of people keep Parking and backfire. You know, perhaps for a short term, all right, for a short period of time, Parking bring you wealth. But ultimately, they don't know how to repay the Parking or how to worship the Parking properly. The worst situation is when you have Parking in your life and you anyhow put them in your room, all right? For example, one of my clients who invited the Parking into his house, right? But he don't know how to place the Parking and just anyhow dump them into one corner, all right? In a very messy way. Okay, for example, okay, very initially, very okay. That was before I instruct him on how to place them properly and what to put. Okay, hopefully, it helps you to see very messy setup, and he doesn't know how to worship or what to offer to the Parking. So what happened to him is that he nearly lost his job. He lost of money in the process. That's the reason. Don't keep Parking if you don't even know how to take care of it. All right, because Parking is actually some kind of spirits that are buried with soldiers that have died very tragic death in battles. Okay, so you are burying like dead spirits or kind of enraged spirits with you are, if you keep them, you are keeping kind of enraged spirit within you all the time, 24/7。那个邪的那个邪灵在你的身边，每天都在你的身边，你怎么会没有坏运？怎么会不破财呢？那个是很 common sense 的。其实很多在佛教啊，甚至学理就是玄学啊东西，很多东西都是很 common sensical 的哈。下一个 ，alright，the next thing that I won't encourage you all to keep is the nine-tailed fox. Nine-tailed fox, right, is usually worshipped by people who are in the business of scamming others. All right. Prostitutes, okay, prostitutes, adult movie stars, or people who wish to seduce men who are usually married are the people who will usually keep nine-tailed fox. Okay, so it is not a very auspicious item to keep also, because the energy associated with nine-tailed fox is always related to deception, seducing other people, trapping people into some kind of scams. All right. And as a spirit, the nine-tailed fox eat humans. And for those who have a weekday master, especially, will not be advisable to wear it. OK， 就是呢，那个九尾狐啊，它是会吃人的。你本身的灵气不够旺的话，你最好不要请，也不要供奉。诶，它最后会把你吃掉哈、真的真的会把你吃掉，因为它是会吃人的啊。所以呢，九尾狐通常拜的人都是那种需要骗人的那种或者呢是妓女，或者是那种三级片的那种明星，还有呢那种需要勾引男人的那种人呢才会拜的那种九尾狐了。所以呢，我不建议你们拜九尾狐了。你们不很多东西可以拜选好好的。选一些正牌来带或者来供奉，那比较好哈。山海经里面这个山海经南山经里面就说，九尾狐乃是一个喜欢吃人的妖兽啊，是一个妖兽嘞，不是神兽嘞。神兽就好像玄武啊、麒麟啊、天龙啊、凤啊、还有貔貅，这些都是神兽啊。九尾狐是一个妖兽嘞，有没有看到 ？It is a kind of evil beast, okay, evil beast. So don't go and keep nine fox tails if you don't know what it is. Do some background check, do check the history, check the Buddhist text before you bring something home. Okay, that's my advice for all my viewers. Okay. Okay, so what are in amulets actually? All right, I always advise people not to keep in amulets or barang amulets because, right, basically the in amulets are amulets that use ingredients such as body parts of humans, such as flesh, corpse oils, bones, or other remains. And secondly, based on the way it is blessed, it may not have any body parts ingredient, but the way it is consecrated may be more into the invitation of spirits, usually spirits who have or people who have died tragic deaths. All right, the 阿赞 the black clothes, the black clothes 阿赞就是黑衣的那种阿赞啊，哈，他们 they will invite that kind of tragic death, that kind of spirits into this kind of barang or amulets， or 就是那种黑衣的那种师傅，通常就会把那种意外死的那种灵魂啊，请来放在那种我们叫做那种 barang 啦哈 barang amulets 里面啊，鹰牌啊叫做鹰牌里面啊，你不会玩最好就不要玩哈，不是每个人都玩得起哈。好，那ingredients means right okay in amulets ingredients means most common using bones ashes 浪漫牌 OK 浪漫是油的意思哦，泰文浪漫 means oil in Thai language 牌 means ghost, all right, or dead body, oil from dead bodies of the deceased to make these amulets. Some even use organs of the deceased to do it, which is rare nowadays due to the rules and regulations. Okay, it's illegal in Thailand also actually, but not all deceased body parts or bones can be used. Old and sick are not used most of the time. Basically, they will look for those that died out of sudden accident because the grievances are stronger and their desire to stay in physical plane is stronger. 哦，就是他们在中阴身的时候还是很有那个怨恨啊，他们就投不了胎啊。Because of their grievances, they are not able to reincarnate. Therefore, they want to stay in the physical plane. That is our realm, our dimension. Okay, such are the spirits of people who die a sudden death, usually through accident or through miscarriage, etc. Commonly found in some 婴童 masalan only when they are made by Long Po, when it is usually consisted. Okay, let me repeat. Okay, this kind of ingredients, right, sometimes can be found in Ying Tong also. Ying Tong is a kind of amulet for, it's kind of love charm also. All right, you all can Google online. Ma Sai Lan is a kind of is a love charm that is of a woman and a horse being in a form of intercourse. All right, it may sound strange to you, but it is a kind of amulet in Thailand. All right, you all can Google on that and find out the story behind it. All right, but sometimes, right, this kind of amulets can comes with this kind of in amulets ingredients such as body parts, bones, etc. Also, so you have to be very careful when you choose what amulets to use. If you don't know, can WhatsApp me privately. All right, I will choose for you based on your past and chat. Okay. But usually those that are made by Long Po. Long Po means the senior monk within the temple. Long Po, okay, Long Po. Then usually they are considered to be orthodox or yang in nature. 就是呢，龙婆啊，龙婆就是呢，泰国的高僧啊，我们叫龙婆。龙破就是爸爸的意思啊，就是一个好像你们叫神父，他们叫做圣父圣父的意思，龙破就是这样的一个意思。所以呢，龙破高僧做的那种佛牌，通常都是羊牌来的，都是安全的。OK，那为什么我不建议你们戴鹰牌 ？Why I don't recommend you to wear 鹰 amulets? Because spirit amulets, all right? Because spirit amulets to some are more jalan or effective, right? Jalan, I don't know. People like to use the term jalan means effective, all right? Spirits are often bind to the amulets through the maker's spell to make them work towards the desire of the owner. But if their grievances is strong, sometimes they also would ask for things from the owner. As they are in the lower plane, emotions are the same as human. So they can get angry when things promised are not fulfilled by you. So when you invite the parking, whatever the in amulets back to your house, you pray to it. It fulfill your wishes quickly, okay, within a week. But later on, you have to pay back. You don't even know what the in amulets are asking for. How are you going to pay back? Can you communicate with the spirits within the in amulets? Are you some kind of Ajahn or Long Po? If you are not, then basically you won't know what the spirits want from you. So the spirit will basically, right, just take whatever he see from your life. It may be money, it may be relationship, it may be your family members, it may be your property, it may be your health. That's the reason a lot of people, after inviting the yin amulets into their life, that kind of ghosts, that kind of spirits, come after them to ask for what has been kind of not fulfilled by the owner of the amulet. All right. So they lost their job, their health become very ill, their family fall sick, their children see ghosts within the house moving their toys, all kinds of problems due to yin amulets. All right. So you better be careful. All right. I have to warn all of you. Due to I have stayed in Thailand for 10 years. I have witnessed all kinds of accidents. All right. I have friends who have committed suicide because they keep these yin amulets. All right. Because they want to break apart the marriage of another couples. So they keep us these yin amulets to help. And after that, the girl doesn't know how to repay. Ultimately, she committed suicide. All right. So all these are no jokes. Please don't anyhow keep yin amulets. If you are not Ajahn, if you are not someone, what I mean by Ajahn, Ajahn are teachers. In Thailand, Ajahn means teacher, okay, or master. They have many years of cultivation. They stay in the temple to chant, to learn spiritual practices to learn how to make charms, talisman, etc. But you are just a layman. Sometimes you can't even talk to a human being properly. You want to talk to a spirit and ask him, what is it that you want in return for fulfilling my wishes? You can't even talk to a human being properly, to be honest. Don't go about bothering communicating with spirits, okay? And asking what you want in return. You won't be able to understand because you are not Ajahn, you are not 龙婆 all right? OK， 所以有点激动，因为真的害人不浅哦，这些事情我一定要告诉你们。OK， so the bigger the wish, the bigger the payback you need to fulfill. No such thing as free in the physical world. Likewise, there's no such thing in the spirits world also. 好啊，没有免费的事情。那个鹰牌，那个灵魂，那个魔鬼帮了你，你一定要还的啊！你不还呢，他自己也会来讨啊，所以你不用担心，你不还他也会来讨的。OK，you don't have to worry. Even if you don't return, they will come after you and take whatever you have that is precious for in your life. OK，so don't worry. OK，so don't worry. All right. So Orthodox amulets, young amulets. Okay, unlike the okay, let me repeat. Young amulets, the Buddha amulets or Orthodox young amulets, all right, will grant wishes and usually make life journey smoother based on your own karma or the positive merits you have cultivated or accumulated. Rewards or blessings will be given in due course, and it also prevents the worst from happening due to their protective power. Okay, so as I mentioned before, right, those Buddha, those park or those 佛牌, those amulets made by monks usually basically is made as a form of blessings for devotees to protect them from harms, etc. As I mentioned earlier on, right, last time the devotees visit the monks in the caves, in the forest, full of tigers, snakes, kind of beasts that will bite them. So the monks will make kind of amulets to protect them on the journey. And ultimately, they find the kind of amulets to be very effective. So further down the road, they tell the monks other problems they have in their life related to money, related to relationship. So the monks, due to their compassionate nature, make other form of amulets to help their kind of devotees, to bless them with wealth, to have good relationship in life, etc. Okay, that's where how amulets comes about. Okay, and to really help to protect the kind of devotees on their journey. That's why in Thailand you often see cases whereby people who wear the amulets, in the car accident, they will not die, and they will show the amulets they are wearing because in the very first place, right, amulets are created to protect devotees on their journey to and fro the forest or the mountain caves. And nowadays, of course, in the modern context, people travel in cars. So the amulets often prevent people from getting into car accidents also. And ultimately, right, because it's a form of blessings, right, I don't see why some Singapore dealers, right, okay, I won't mention names. For a few $100s, they will sell the amulets to become $20,000 or $30,000 and call themselves the Rolex shop of amulets in Singapore. Whereas what they're selling only costs 100 or even less than 100 in Singapore. They are selling it for 10,000 and 20,000. if you are really selling Rolex, then it's okay, but you are just selling something that is 100 times lesser than the price that you're offering the customer. That's why sometimes I find some amulet shops, right? All right. I wish them chok the, okay, chok the amulet. I wish them chok the, okay, but don't overprice, okay? We all stay in Thailand. We know the price of your amulets. Even if you put the gold box casing, we know exactly the price of your amulets in Thailand. Some of the amulets are just 100 or even less than 100, and you are selling at 10,000 and 20,000. That is ridiculous. Okay, that is ridiculous. All right, it is not okay serving good purposes, all right, to the clients. Okay, all right, so in amulets, bara amulets, okay, with bara often you will need the kata and mantras, right, and it is highly recommended you have a high level of spiritual cultivation in order to control the spirits or at least know how to pay them back properly. These are the key concepts to activate or connect to the relevant spirits within it. OK， 所以呢，就是说呢，不是每个人都适合养那种鹰牌或者鬼魂啊那种不要乱养Thank you very much also Shelly for watching. All right, so please don't go anyhow invite the kind of e-commerce into your life. You don't know how to pay it back. You don't know how to communicate it. You don't know how to control it. Right? It is dangerous. So don't go touch it. All right. And in terms of the keeping of amulets, or even as a Buddhist, there are 5 precepts that you must always practice. That is to respect and be faithful to parents and teachers. 就是要孝顺父母，还有你的老师。第二 all right. Secondly, no killing. Don't kill any life forms. All right. Be it small insects, be it is just an ant. Don't kill them. Right. All kinds of life is precious. All right. No sexual misconduct or misuse of the senses. Okay, this is self-explanatory. No intoxicant or clouding of the mind through alcohol or drugs, for etc. etc. Okay, no wrong speech. Okay, do not swear. All right, do not use vulgarity. No false speech. Okay, 不要骂粗话，不要问候人家爸爸妈妈。All these are not Buddhist precepts. If you are a Buddhist yourself and you also keep amulets, it is very important for you to keep to these 5 precepts in order for these amulets to, the amulets, of course, is to remind you of these 5 precepts also. But of course, keeping them will also help you to live a better life. And some people believe that by keeping them will also help to strengthen the power of the amulets and to provide you with more blessings. Okay, some people believe that. I respect that belief. All right, I personally also feel that way. Okay, so I also follow these 5 precepts, and I hope that all Buddhists or all amulet keepers will follow these 5 precepts so that your life will be blessed. Okay, so thank you all for watching tonight. It's a kind of long session. So I hope that you all will have a happy Valentine's Day, most importantly, right? Have a peaceful, loving, and harmonious relationship with your loved ones. Thank you all for watching tonight. Shelly, Deste, Ching Pichi. Thank you very much for watching. It's your first time joining me. Definitely welcome to come back again. Mr. Raymond or Mr. Rich Young, Facebook user, light giver, Fabian, Jerry, Jennifer, my student, Mito, Shelly, Angie. So thank you all for watching. Lastly, all right, may all of you have a kind of blessed 就是呢，真的很希望了，每个人人生里面呢，有情人呢，我知道真的要跟自己爱的人在一起其实是很困难的一件事情。有时候我们得不到自己爱的人嘛，就珍惜爱我们的人了。Sometimes it's not about wanting what we have, but having. Sometimes it's not about having what we want, but wanting what we have. 有人在身边爱我们、关心我们呢，都是一个福气来的。有时候呢，好好珍惜我们的眼前的人更加重要。要懂得感恩。所以呢，我也是感恩有你们在每次上来 live 呢都有你们在观看，我真的很感恩。因为呢，真的每次做 live 都不容易啊，坦白说说一些真心话了。我做一个 live 要做那个 slide， 那个 slide 是要做一整天的。那每个字都是自己一个一个打出来。然后呢，有时候做 live 又讲话讲很久了。 当然有时候讲太多话会，有时候写错字啊，有时候说错话啊。那个我不是完美所以有时候也是要真的要希望大家能够谅解因为有时候我这写的太快啊，写字啊写错字啊，我也是一个人有时候呢只有一个脑袋要做很多事情，真的有时候会写错字或者说错话，发音有时候也不准确。可是我是尽力把我最好的东西给大家，希望大家呢也会珍惜。那感恩有你们在有你们爱我谢谢你们。那真的很感恩，希望你们真的情人节快乐。然后呢，祝你们生活愉快，幸福美满。那我们在下一个 live video 再见，拜拜。